right, so we're back. Today we're gonna do more TikTok recipes. I feel like no other social media platform in the history of social media has ever like made recipes as like famous and viral as TikTok has. Like people are now posting TikTok's pasta recipe, TikTok's salad recipe, which I think is so funny. So I thought because there's so many weird like recipes and trends out there that today we would test some out. Hey guys, I'm Candice the Edgy Veg. And if you're new here, hi, hello. I make vegan recipes and test hacks and see if vegan products are worth your money, along with other things that we do around here. So if you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you love these videos where I test out other people's recipes, see if they are worth making, give this video a big thumbs up. And if you have any video requests or recipe requests that you would like me to test, you can leave that in the comment section down below. All right, so there's a couple like interesting, weird viral hacks out there, and I'd like to slowly make my way through them. Some of them just seem a little bit ridiculous. So I'm gonna test out 3 today. We have the Green Goddess dip, which looks interesting, so I thought I'd try it out. People are like losing their minds over it. We have another TikTok ramen. You guys know how much I love ramen, and I'm going to test out every single ramen TikTok or TikTok ramen that there is out there. And then the third one is peachy pasta or spinach pasta. So I find with a lot of these recipes on TikTok, some of them are just well-known recipes, but the younger generation just hasn't ever been exposed to them. And then someone does it, it's like, oh my God, this amazing thing that like maybe some of us older generation people have been doing forever. Or they're like, you know, snack hacks for your kids and shit we've been doing since like the 90s, but I digress. We're gonna test out a couple today. And I'm so excited because today's video is sponsored by Herbaland. You guys know that I love Herbaland. They are a Canadian vitamin company. They make vitamin gummies, which is the only way I take my vitamins now. I don't like swallowing pills. It seems like a lot of work to do it. I know it's not, but it's a first world problem, and here we are. I'd rather eat candy instead of take pills and supplements every day. They have a variety of lines. They're all vegan. They're made here in Canada. They do all of their R&D here in Canada. They're a family-owned company. And they have a couple different lines. So they have an adult line and they also have kids lines. They have like an athletic vitamin and supplements like electrolytes and like pre-workouts and that sort of thing. And then, you know, multivitamins that are great for vegans. All of them are great for vegans, as well as things like sleep aids. And this one, which I've been taking a lot during December because it's the most stressful month of the year. It is the Calm Naturally gummies for adults. It just kind of like eases my anxiety a little bit, helps me relax. So definitely check them out in the description box down below. And I have a code, which is EdgyVeg20. I'll leave that down there as well. All right, so the first recipe is a Green Goddess dip. It was developed by Baked by Melissa. She is a recipe developer for the New York Times. I've seen this everywhere. It looks really good. It's basically like a dip. People are like ranting and raving about it. I don't understand how you can rant and rave about something that's more or less a glorified salad, but that's why we're testing it. Oh, and I have the recipe because it was huge and not enough people live here for that amount of dip. So just so you know, I have the recipe. So the base of this dip is 3 different vegetables, or I guess 2 vegetables and onion. So we have green cabbage. My local grocer was actually out of traditional green cabbage, so I'm using flat cabbage, which is a bit paler, but it's cabbage. Cabbage is cabbage, so I think it's perfectly fine as long as it's green. Then we have a lot of cucumber, and shout out to Molly who prepped all of these tiny, tiny diced cucumbers, which I'm sure took all morning. And then she also uses chives or green onions. Chives are a little bit like more obscure than green onions are for people to use. So because you can use both options, I just went with the green onion because it'll be easier for you to find or purchase. Chances are you probably already have it in your house. So that's the base of the salad. So let's start with that. So just adding everything together into a bowl. I mean, even just adding this cabbage right here, like this is half the recipe and it's a huge dip. So that is, you know, 1 small head of cabbage. We have 1.5 cucumbers and about 3 green onions or scallions. I might actually need a bigger bowl than this. So I don't have a bowl that's much bigger, but this is a little bit wider, which I think is going to be easier for mixing the dressing in. So we're just gonna transfer that And again, this is half the recipe, so I don't know who has this many guests. Maybe I just don't have enough friends. All right, so mix that all together, and then we are going to make the dressing in a blender, which I do love. I love a good dressing in a blender. It's nice and smooth. You don't have to, you know, shake it up. All right, so her green goddess dressing is already vegan, so I don't have to change anything about that, which I love. It uses nutritional yeast. We have some basil that I picked from my indoor garden, cashews, so it'll be nice and creamy, chives or green onion. I'm using green onion, like I said, spinach, vinegar, lemon juice, super basic, tasty, easy. All right, so it's nice and green. It smells really good. I like to taste it before I salt it. Just, that's really tasty. Just a little bit of salt to balance out the lemon, and we're good to go. So this does seem like not enough dressing for how many vegetables are in here, but I could be wrong. It's supposed to be a dip. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be enough. Get every little bit out. I mean, everything's coated, but I feel like if it's supposed to be a dip, you probably want it to be a little bit saucier. But that could just be down to personal preference. I mean, it looks really beautiful and refreshing. All right, so she says to serve it with like tortilla chips, or I'm sure you could serve it with like crackers, I guess, but tortilla chips kind of makes the most sense. So maybe I'll try it without the tortilla chips first, because these are salted. But I'd love to get an idea for what it tastes without the extra salt. So it's tasty, super refreshing. It's like crisp. You could see how this is like a really great summer dip. I would love to see more dressing. Definitely double the dressing for sure. It's giving me like green pico de gallo vibes. It's good, but it needs more dressing. Yeah, it's good. And you can save the leftovers for like a salad, because that's essentially what it is. Or like a taco filling, that'd be really good too. All right, yeah. I would also add more salt. I would also love to see this with tahini as opposed to cashews. I think that would be so good. A little bit more salt, double the dressing. It's good, it's tasty, really refreshing for the summer. So the second recipe is a green pasta made from spinach as well as flour. It's called pici pasta, like traditionally. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, but now it's like TikTok spinach pasta because it went viral like that. So we're gonna test that out. So what I'm going to do is in a food processor, pulse together and like just blend together the flour and a heck of a lot of spinach. And then we're gonna roll it into a pasta and then boil it the same way we would normal pasta. And now while the food processor is running, I'm going to drizzle in some olive oil. All right, so you're going to have a dough like this. It comes together. Add more flour if it's too sticky, but you can make it whatever shape you want, theoretically, but we're just going to do spaghetti pieces because that's what they did in the TikTok video. So this is definitely not quick. I think if I was to do this like not following someone else's recipe, I would definitely use my pasta maker to make this pasta because it's just so much quicker and easier. And I'm definitely going to do little like odds and ends shapes. Like they're not going to be uniform, which I kind of like. It's like rustic and, you know, not imperfect, which we love. All right, so now I'm going to cook my little mediocre looking spaghettis for about 1.5 minutes in salted water, and I'm going to just whip up a quick like garlic sauce to serve it with. All right, so we have our pasta here. It smells really good. It looks really good. I just did like a basic garlic sauce with it. That's really good. I would probably add a little bit more salt to the actual dough itself. But yeah, this is great. I mean, definitely if you're doing this by hand, it is going to take some time, so it's definitely not like a super quick recipe, but if you love to make pasta at home, this is a great one to add to your rotation. This is also great for kids if you wanna like, I don't know, I feel like kids like colorful foods, but like not if they're obviously vegetables. So this could be a fun way to like add spinach if your kid doesn't eat spinach. Or you're for an adult that's never eaten vegetables before, like just your kid does. Really good. Would definitely do this one again. All right, so the last recipe that we're testing today is a TikTok ramen. You guys know I love ramen and I love testing the TikTok ramen recipes. So this one is kind of the same, but kind of different than the rest of them. We've made like cheesy ones. We did like the traditional soup ramen. So with our instant ramen today, it's going to be like, just like a quick, almost like it's giving me like street food vibes. So of course we have instant ramen. We have soy sauce, we have brown sugar, green onions, garlic. For the egg, I'm just going to use the plant eggs and optional, everything bagel seasoning. All right, we're going to make the sauce. I also cooked the noodles just to al dente because they're going to continue cooking in the sauce here. So they're still a little bit firm, but soft enough. So our sauce base is going to be vegan butter, soy sauce, brown sugar, and garlic. All right, so when your noodles are coated in the sauce, make a little space to cook the egg. So adding the vegan egg here. You can do this even with like a medium tofu if you wanted. You get that kind of like egg mouth feel. But I have access to the vegan eggs, so I'm gonna use it. And just like scramble that on the side. You can also go in and season the noodles with some everything bagel seasoning. I also like some chili flakes. All right, so once it starts to kind of set here, I'm just going to mix everything together, add in some green onions, and that's it. All right, so our ramen is done. Let's give it a little taste test. That's good. I would definitely make that again. I might add a little bit of the, I'm not gonna talk with my mouth full. I think if I was to make this again, I would definitely add a little bit of that cooking water just so that's not as sticky because there is sugar in it, so it's caramelized, but it's really, really tasty. I would definitely make this again. All right, so those are the 3 recipes for today. Let me know if you have been scrolling across TikTok and there's a recipe or a hack that you would love to see someone test before you spend your money or your time doing it. You can leave that in the comment section down below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and I will link the original TikTok links in the description box if you want to make this. And thank you so much to Herbaland for sponsoring today's video. And don't forget that I did come out with my own Herbaland gummies, one of which is the signature flavor, which is sour watermelon. I'll leave a link to that in the description box down below as well. You definitely don't want to miss out on those, and don't forget about the coupon code. Okay, bye!